I got a fantastic request the other day to share and review and compare all of the Dior foundations, and I was like, you know what? I'm your girl, because I have all 5 foundations that Dior has in their line currently. So I'm gonna try all of them on for you today. And the timing was really perfect because I got a new camera, you guys, and I feel like my content is clearer than ever before. Unfortunately for me, you're gonna be able to see every nook and cranny on my face. But fortunately for you, for a video like this, you're gonna get to see every nook and cranny on my face and how it gets covered by these foundations. So if you are new to my channel, researching what Dior foundation is best for you, just a little bit of background here. Dior has my favorite foundation line as a range, as a whole. Their range as a whole, if you ask me, are the best foundations on the market. If you are okay with spending a little bit of a pretty penny on a foundation, make a good investment on a foundation that you're going to use every day and love, Dior is going to be the direction that I would point you in. I find their foundations to be really reliable and work across all different skin types as well. They've been my favorites for years, and I've been around for some evolutions here. I've had 2 reformulations of some of my favorite foundations, repackagings. Foundations have come and went, so I'm gonna keep you updated right here on their 2025 line. So just some facts about my skin type. I have dry skin. It's definitely leaning more dry right now. I have discoloration. I have a little bit of fine lines. Acne prone. These don't break me out, just FYI. So that's kind of what I'm working with. Let's get into the foundations. So Dior currently has a lineup of 5 foundations, 4 liquid, 1 foundation stick, ranging between $43 to $57. Now they have a variety of different finishes, including their OG Dior Forever, their Forever Skin Glow, their Forever Hydra Nude, their Backstage Face and Body, and their Forever Skin Perfect foundation stick. So I'm gonna zoom you in closer, and the first foundation that we're going to dive into is going to be the OG Dior Forever Classic Foundation. This foundation is $57, and it's going to give you a matte finish, so I would definitely recommend looking into this one if you have oily skin and don't like when your oils come through too much. This one will give you maximum wear time. Now for their claims, they say this is a no transfer matte foundation, medium to full coverage, evens out complexion, visibly tightens pores, and smooths the skin and controls shine. It also has an 86% based skincare formulation, and it does also contain SPF 15. Now, this is the only one that I have in the shade 2.5. Every other shade that I have is in 2N. Now, let me tell you guys something about this foundation. Even though I have dry skin, one second, how's that? So even though I have dry skin, I've got to be real, I love this foundation. Because even though it's matte, I don't feel like it's too drying on my skin, and I do have a little bit of acne going on around my chin, just a couple spots. And I'm going to show you how this covers. I'm using a Rephr brush from Makeup by Mario to push this into the skin. Now, how I like to apply all my foundations, liquid foundations, is spreading them out with a finger and then patting it in with a brush or sponge. I find that that maximizes the coverage, minimizes foundation waste, and just makes it overall easier to work out. So I always have a little towel present at my makeup station to wipe my fingers off with. Now this one I feel like leaves such a pretty powder soft finish to the skin without it feeling too dry. It starts off as a liquid and almost dries down. Not quite so powdery, but it gives an airbrushed finish for sure. Just that airbrush effect. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put a little bit on my under eyes as well. I'm gonna build it up just a little bit on the cheek so that you can take a look at the coverage. But you can see it did a great job covering my zits. I feel like it does visibly smooth pores a little bit due to that soft matte powdery finish. But despite it being matte, it does feel very lightweight. And like I've been saying, my skin has really, I probably should have hydrated my lips. But my skin has really been struggling lately with dryness in the winter. It is February after all. And I feel like none of the dryness is being emphasized. And I can speak on this and tell you that this will last all day. It will work perfect all day. It plays well with other products, other primers, other concealers, other bronzers. This is my favorite line of foundation, so I don't have anything bad to say. So if you need that oil control and you're oily, I definitely recommend this. But even if you have dry skin and you just want that matte finish, maybe for something more long wear in the summer, this is fantastic. Now we're going to take a look at the kind of opposite here, the Skin Glow Foundation, also $57. The packaging of this one compared to the original Forever is it does have a more shiny finish, and it does say Skin Glow. So if you're in the store and you're going for a specific one, don't get them confused. The packaging is very similar, so make sure you're looking for the Skin Glow if that's what you're looking for. Now for their description, they say it's a radiant foundation that delivers an even and smooth complexion with medium to full coverage. It also is supposed to have that 86% skincare formulation as well as SPF 15. So it's pretty much the same. It's just supposed to give a radiant look and be more hydrating to the skin. Now this one I have in the shade 2N. And I'm using that Makeup by Mario brush again to blend it out, but it's a clean one. I have a second one. So on instant touch of the skin, you can tell it's more glowy and hydrating. It just feels a little bit cooler on the skin. And even though they say this gives medium to full coverage, I do feel like this has a hint of a lighter coverage than the Forever Matte. I'm gonna add a second layer. You can see there is a little bit of a change in color between the 2.5 from the matte side and the 2N from the glowy side. And the reason I'm not powdering is because once I powder, then both foundations kind of look the same. But with the Skin Glow, the glow will come through after a couple hours of wear. So it's with time that that finish will come back. And can you tell the difference? This one just has a little bit more radiance to it compared to the matte. Now with this name being Skin Glow, it's not going to give glass skin. It's not going to be extra glowy. It's not going to be super glowy, super reflective. It's more so of a natural radiance, I would say, and it does feel a little nicer on my drier skin. But you can see a visible difference of how the light hits the Forever Matte versus the Skin Glow. Performance-wise, both of these are amazing. Both of them last a long time. It's just a matter of what finish you're going for, whether you want it to be matte or have a little bit more radiance. I love both equally. There is no one better than the other, and these are also some of my most used foundations ever in my collection. One of my all-time favorites on the market right now. So I love these two. These are top dogs if you ask me. And I've said before in videos, when I get general foundation recommendations, you don't mind spending a pretty penny at Sephora, Dior Forever is the line that I would send you to, whether you want a glowy one or a matte one. One of these two I find to be the most versatile for the largest amount of people. There's just not a lot of people that this isn't going to work for. So I'll let you get one last look. Now for this next demo, I'm actually going to take off the matte side. I'm going to leave the Skin Glow side because I want to compare the Skin Glow to the new Hydra Nude foundation. So we're moving into the Forever Hydra Nude foundation, which is also $57. Now this one has half the amount of shades. This only has 18, whereas the two Forever ones that I just showed you had 42 shades. If you are in store and comparing them, the Hydra Nude has the lighter packaging. I also have this shade in 2N, by the way. So this one has different claims. So they say that this is a new complexion era for them. It just launched in the last couple of months, and it delivers a medium coverage with an invisible finish, but it's still supposed to be long wear. It's infused with hyaluronic acid for 48 hours of hydration, and your skin is supposed to breathe comfortably all day with this. It's created with over 50% water, and then 96% natural origin ingredients, whatever. It's just supposed to look really natural. And I actually have not compared the Skin Glow and Hydra Nude beside each other, so I myself am pretty curious about this. So this one, when I bought it, I thought it was going to be a really glowy finish, but it's actually not. It's more of a natural finish, like not really glowy, but also not matte. For me, the specialty of this foundation is how lightweight it feels on the skin. And not that the other foundations feel heavy. They don't. But this one is quite literally light as air. It does say it's 50% water, and I can believe that. It has less coverage than the Skin Glow, less buildability than the Skin Glow, but you can get it to a comfortable medium coverage. It just looks really thin on the skin compared to the Skin Glow. Just pumped a little bit more to cover this forehead. So here is the new Hydra Nude next to the Skin Glow. Skin Glow definitely gives more coverage. This one is just so much more lighter weight and breathable. I would say if you don't really love the feel of foundation, or you're just looking for something that feels super lightweight, this would be the option for you of all the ones in today's video. Now, in terms of comparison, which I prefer, I still prefer the other two over this one. This one is probably my least favorite of the 5 Dior foundations, but just let me say, it is still an amazing foundation. That's just how good Dior foundations are. But this one, for me, is just coming in last place. That's where it falls. But it's not because it's not good. This is definitely for a specific person. If you don't like the feel of makeup, you want something super lightweight and very breathable, this is going to be the one for you. It wears really great as well. It's just not as perfecting as I prefer my foundations to be. But I'll let you get one last look before we move on. And I'm going to take off the Skin Glow, and I want to compare Hydra Nude to the Backstage foundation. This is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is Dior's most affordable option. So if you don't want to spend $57, this one's really good. It's $43, and obviously it comes in less nice packaging, but very functional. This is what they say they use on Dior's runways. Big shade range, like 43, 44 different shades. So this is what they say. It's the go-to foundation for face and body for House of Dior runway shows. It has a luminous result and gives custom coverage effect from the most natural to a high perfection complexion. Evens out, smooths complexion, blurs imperfection, is weightless, has a second skin finish. It does not have SPF like the original Forever foundations. Excuse me, I like stuttered there. This one I would say I love for everyday. Not that I don't love the others for everyday. I think all of these are great for everyday. But this one was very, very lightweight feeling. And it is quite custom in that you can get super duper light coverage with this. But you can do that with every foundation from Dior, really. But this one does thin out very nicely. And that is why I wanted to compare it side by side with the Hydra Nude, because this just rolls over the skin and blends very butter-like and thins out really easy. And I wanted to see side by side how that differed from Hydra Nude. This one is applying so fast and easy, and I think that's why they love to use it for runway shows. It blends out with just a little tippity tap. Probably the most easygoing for application. Not that any of them are hard, but what do you think? Here is the Backstage side versus the Skin Glow. I do think the Hydra Nude has a little more subtle glowiness to it if we're to compare apples to oranges. No, I don't even know if that's a phrase. If we're comparing like really minor differences, just gonna put a little bit on, but you can build this up to a full medium coverage. I would say not really full. I think this has a little bit more of a powder soft finish, but it still is really natural, but it's very flexible with the face. I would say the Backstage is almost softer, slightly more powdery in terms of it being a little bit more matte. But I think that these two are kind of similar in how lightweight they feel on the skin. And I prefer the Backstage over the Hydra Nude. And this one is $43 versus $57. So if you really want that lightweight foundation, I would recommend the Face and Body. But I will let you get one last look. And I'm going to take off the Hydra Nude side. And we're going to do probably my favorite foundation in the Dior line, the Stick. I think this is my favorite of all the Dior foundations. This is fairly new. It launched in the summer this past year. So this is the Forever Skin Perfect Multi-Use Foundation Stick. Now this only has 14 shades. This has the worst shade range, I think. I really hope they expand it because It's fantastic. It's amazing. So this is $52, a few bucks left than their more expensive ones. The multi-use Dior foundation stick delivers a natural blurred finish, 24-hour wear, all-day hydration, buildable coverage, yes, evens out complexion. I say that this is skin in a stick. It's a makeup skincare hybrid, lets your skin breathe. I don't believe it has SPF in it. It does not. But this is my Tom Ford foundation stick replacement. Tom Ford foundation stick used to be the best foundation ever. This replaced it for me since they wanted to discontinue that. For me, I just feel like this foundation is whatever I want it to be. It's super portable. It's never gonna leak or break. It's fantastic for travel. It wears all day. It keeps my skin hydrated in the winter, but in the summer, it doesn't matter. It just wears amazing. Do you see how it's a stick, but it's just blending with very little effort, just soaking right on in there, providing me a light medium coverage. But I want more coverage. Okay, let me build that baby up. And then guess what? I have more coverage. If they ever, Dior, listen to me. If you ever discontinue this, like, I don't think I can ever use anything from your brand ever again, because I'll talk about this in the end. After my spray foundation that you discontinued, if you discontinued this, it's game over for you. I'm kidding. I would still use their foundations, but the absolute rage that would send me in, because I love this foundation. I love that you can get customizable coverage. I love that it has a skin-like finish. I love how smooth it makes my skin look. You can see though, comparing it to the Backstage foundation, look at how much more natural and lightweight the Backstage foundation is. Now, I did do a thicker layer on here, but it is a little bit more thick on my skin, but not in a way that bothers me. But you know, if you like a super skin-like undetectable foundation, that Backstage is so good. But anyways, this one's my favorite, and it's the only product I will be traveling with as a foundation as well, because you can throw it anywhere and not have to worry about it. It applies with ease. It's mess-free. You don't have to get your fingers dirty. There's not enough good things that I can say about this. It's a natural finish, right? Not really glowy, not really drying matte either. It's the best one. And a moment of silence for Dior Air Flash. The best foundation in the world. The foundation that I wore to my wedding. Yes, it's a foundation in a spray bottle, and there was nothing like it on the market. There was nothing as good as it, and they went and discontinued this. So it is obviously not in the line anymore, but why isn't it back? So what had happened, if you're new to the Dior line, a couple years ago, they actually reformulated everything in their makeup line to make it cruelty-free. And one of the things that had to go was this Air Flash, and it just never came back. And it was like a favorite in so many people's routine, including mine. And I have a few more sprays of this left, even though it's probably expired and doesn't work as good anyways. But I had to add this in here because I'm still mad about it. Why this? Why the Tom Ford foundation stick? Ah! Okay. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was my guide to all 5 of the Dior foundations that you can get right now. Please, let's help each other out. I want you to share down below your skin type and any of these Dior foundations that you have, how you feel about them. Honestly, at base, I feel like these all have a very similar finish and wear, just with subtle changes. So you definitely don't need to go about having the entire line. They just have this soft finish over the skin that each of them contain. They have that special Dior je ne sais quoi, if you will. So you really can't go wrong with any. But if we were to do a quick ranking, let me stress myself out so that I can keep talking to you guys. Okay, I think I have the ranking, but like they're so close, right? I would choose one over the other for a specific occasion. But I think this is my ranking. Best to worst. In case you wanted it, here it is. But you know what? The skin glow and then the matte, it depends on what finish I want. The Backstage, it also depends. Anyways, that's all I have for today's video. If you were on the hunt for a Dior foundation, I hope that I gave you the facts to help you out with this one. Oh, most long wearing, by the way, would be the matte, but they all wear a long time. In case you needed that information, I forgot to say that. Yeah, I'll have all of the links to purchase these down below if you're interested, as well as the shades that I wore, and I just hope I could be an asset to you. And if you're looking for any extra help, I know there's lots of amazing followers that I have who will share their experiences down in the comment section, because skin is just so different. Everyone has different application methods and preferences. So some more juicy details will probably be in the comment section. So I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.